All right. Yeah, so the recording is in progress, right? So, last time we just did the installation for Playwright, and I've shared one document also with you. So, a lot of you were asking me for that document, and I've shared that document wherein it contains all the required installations. For example, how do you install Node.js, how to install VS Code, and if at all you get some challenges, some issues, how do we resolve them? Okay. So, if you have not gone through the document, I would suggest you can go through that document. Yeah. Hmm? Okay. And then we started with JavaScript basics. We have covered the data types. Some of you remember data types, some of you may be joining in for the very first time. So, yeah, I'll share my screen as well. Give me a sec, guys.
Yeah, hey, so I'm new to this class. If you share this link or this document link here, it will be helpful for us.
Definitely. So, okay,
Thank
I'm getting message
thank you.
from Sarah and Suresh. Okay, one sec. I'll share that document also. Yes, I knew that some of you are completely new, right? So I'll be sharing all.
Yeah, same here. I don't know anything what you like what went in first or demo class. So
No
I
problem.
also need the document, and even I'll need maybe help with installation. But I'll try with watching the video. If I won't be able to do it, then I'll take help from you.
Definitely, guys. So you can surely. So, okay, let me just post that document in the chat for you all. Okay, one sec. I'm pasting in the chat. Okay. So, guys,
Thank
I
you.
pasted this document. Okay. So, this document will help you in the desired installations. Okay. So, we have seen this last time. Okay. So, this is the document. You can just go through it. And I'm even sharing my number as well. In case if you need some extra help or something, you can just reach out to me. So, that's my contact number. And I'm also available in those WhatsApp groups. Okay. And this is my WhatsApp number I've just shared with. Okay. So, yes, let's get started. I see some good number of participants. So, yeah. Let's go, guys. Okay, and I would request everyone. So if you're joining in from, like names like iPhone, Samsung, I would suggest give yourself a name so that it is easier for me to, interact with you. Right? Okay. So yeah, I'll share my screen now. So I've shared that document as well. Hmm. Okay, so I think you should be able to see my screen. So last time, what did we install? We installed a couple of extensions. So guys, after installing VS Code, you have to install a couple of extensions. So the very first extension you all have to install is the Code Run extension. Yeah, that is the first extension. Just hit the install button. That's it. No need to do anything else. The second extension you want to download is the Live Server extension. This is for beautification. And if you observe, right, you see such nice, beautiful icons. Without this live server extension, you will see very boring, very orange, very basic type of icons. Okay. So just to give your VS Code more life, just to have a better experience, you want to install this extension called Live Server. Yeah. And then the third extension you want to download is this guy. Hmm? Okay, so this is the second, third, and yeah, fourth one is open in default browser. This is something we will be using heavily in Playwright by PeakGen 90. Just hit the install button, guys. All these extensions are pretty smaller ones. Okay, very simple to install. Okay, and they don't take any space as well. Yeah. So this is the fourth extension, and finally the last one, which is Playwright Test for VS Code. We saw this extension as well. Yeah. Just hit the install button. If it is already installed, it will show you uninstall. You don't have to do anything in that. Yeah. Okay, so this is about your installations. Okay, and then the next step is we install Playwright also. That is why you see these folder structures. Installing Playwright is a very simple process, guys. Even if you're completely new, yeah, installing Playwright is super simple. So we ran a particular command. Okay, let's see. So some of you are already there. Okay, already joined last week as well. Anyone who remembers how did I install Playwright? Anyone who wants to share? Let us keep it more interactive, guys. You can definitely talk, right? Hmm. Anyone who remembers, you can just share, raise your hands. You can share whatever you feel like. How do we install Playwright? We installed last time. Hmm.
Using
eh,
Home Package Manager.
Very nice, Sarah. Yes. So, guys, we have to install any third-party library using something called as NPM. NPM stands for Node Package Manager. Okay. And mostly people who are especially beginners, they have no clue about difference between the Node.js versus NPM. Anyone who can tell me the difference between Node.js versus NPM? This is something we covered last week. So now we are doing a small recap so that you should be able to, easily understand. So difference between Node.js and NPM. Who can help me with this? Anyone can try without feeling judged. Yes, Pavleen.
So Node.js is used, as you have earlier suggested in demo, that it is used to run the JavaScript, right? And then
Uh-huh.
NPM is like our Maven, right? So it's like installing the third-party libraries, whatever we want, right? So that is the
Okay.
difference, basic difference.
Very nice, Pavleen. I'm not sure if I saw you last week, but whatever you said is
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Okay, good one. Very nice. So, guys, so as she rightly mentioned, so the very simple thing is Node.js is for running JavaScript on your machine. That's it. So, and to be more precise, you need Node.js if you want to run JavaScript outside the browser. Because when we talk about running JavaScript within the browser, you don't even need Node.js for that. Because all the browsers, whether you talk about Firefox or Chrome or WebKit, any browser you talk about, okay, all the browsers have their own JavaScript execution engine, right? But if you want to run, let's say, JavaScript in VS Code, see, VS Code is not a part of the browser. VS Code is completely outside. How can you run JavaScript in VS Code? Only if you have Node.js installed. That is why I shared the document with you. Okay, hopefully you're able to connect these dots. Some of you are completely new. Some of you already have good knowledge with Selenium. Some of you are already, have good experience with automation. Okay, yeah. So this is the prerequisite, guys. So the first thing is install Node.js. And along with Node.js, NPM is automatically installed. So NPM is like Maven, to make it very simple. Like we have Maven in Java, we have NPM in JavaScript. This is for installing third-party libraries. Playwright is a third-party library. Okay. Selenium is a third-party library. Rest Assured is a third-party library. Okay. So in order to install any third-party library in JavaScript, you will use NPM. I hope this is making sense. And you guys, you want to make some notes, otherwise you will forget them. Okay. Yeah. So this is about Node.js versus NPM. Okay. And then we talked about the data types, primitive data types and all those things. Okay. So anyone who can tell me what are primitive data types? Anyone wants to try? This is super simple, guys. Hmm. Yes. What are primitive data types? Anyone who remembers? Hmm. Yes, Ashish wants to try. Primitive data types. Hmm. I'm not sure, Ashish, if I can hear you actually. So, no, it is quite simple actually.
Uh, Primitive data types are like a basic integer, string, and float, like basic declaration, variable declaration are the primitive data types, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, okay. Good try, Deepak. So, guys, primitive data type, what does it mean basically? Hmm? So we are in information age. We are surrounded with tons and tons of data, right? We want to store information, right? How do we store information? Yeah, we might have a number, we might have strings, we might have some Boolean values. Yeah, in order to categorize this data, categorize this information, we have data types, right? Okay, and there are different type of data types. One, we have primitive data types. Okay. And then we have reference data types. Reference data types we will study in detail. Okay. And in reference data types, okay, we have something called as arrays. We have objects. Okay. So primitive data types are very, very simple. And if you truly want to be a good automation developer, yeah, you want to not get better at just primitive data types, you want to study and master the reference types. This is where most people struggle. Okay. Yeah. Whether you talk about Java, JavaScript, doesn't matter, whichever programming language you're using. If you want to get good in these languages, you want to master the reference types. Okay. So, but in order to master the reference types, we have to start with the basics first. So, primitives means simple and basic values. Okay. So, if you remember last time we saw what? Okay. So, we saw a couple of simple values. Like this is a simple value. It is another value. This is another value. So, this is a number. This is a string. Your name is a string. My name is a string. Correct? This is a Boolean value. This is another Boolean value. Correct? Yeah. How do we categorize them? Okay. Into primitive data types, which are simple and basic. These are the primitive data types, guys. Okay. We have a number. We have string. We have Boolean. then null, and then we have undefined. Okay. So these are the 5 parameter data types. Technically, we have two more. Okay. Right. We have symbol and begin used in very special cases. Okay. Right. So technically we have 7, but we use mostly these 5. Okay. Right. And then we talked about what? Console.log. So if you are from Java background, you have used this guy system.out.println. Yeah, this is something which is used of printing something into the console. Used very frequently if you are learning something or printing something to the console. The equivalent in JavaScript is console.log. Very simple. Just write this guy. Okay. Just write this guy console.log and write something in the double quote or single quote. Yeah. And select this and click on the play button. Now, you will see this play button only and only if you have installed this extension called as which one? The code run extension. Okay. Yeah. It makes your life easier, guys. It gets you this play button. Very super simple. Yeah. So what you have to do is, yeah, just select anything, whatever you want to run. Okay. And then click on the play button. So JavaScript will ignore everything else in this file and it will run only the selected or the highlighted part. Okay. But if you are running the entire file, everything would be executed, which you may or may not be willing to. Correct? So in that case, just select this line, click on the play button, and now only this line gets executed. This is very handy, guys. Well, very, very handy. Okay. So we did couple of things. Yeah. So we actually printed some values. Okay. So how do we print? Just use console.log. This is super simple, guys. And then we started with numbers, the very first data type called numbers. Okay. So what are numbers? Whether it is a positive number, negative number, decimal number, basically fractional values, any kind of number, we have a single data type in JavaScript called numbers. So if you are from Java, this might look little confusing because you have so many data types in Java, right? But if you're learning coding for the first time, that is simple. Why? Because you don't have any unlearning to do. Java people have some little unlearning to do. Okay. Yeah. So this is very simple. So this is a number. This is another number. This is also a number. Everything fits under one category. It's not numbers, it is number actually. Okay. Yeah. And we also talked about some limitations of JavaScript. Okay. So for example, we can store only up to 16 decimal places. Beyond 16 decimal places, we cannot do, guys. We cannot go. Why? JavaScript simply loses the precision. Okay. Yeah. So, and we actually talked about couple of shortcuts. So we'll be learning a lot of shortcuts because we want to get pro. Yeah, we want to get pro. Okay. So what is a shortcut to clear anything in the browser or in VS Code? Okay. Right. So this is something. So let me show you. So guys, I opened the terminal. So this, how do I open the terminal? Okay, this is very simple. I simply press Control and backtick key. This is my favorite shortcut. Okay, I don't like to go to the terminal, new terminal, and or click on this button on the bottom, then click on this terminal. This is actually a little boring according to me. I like to use shortcuts. So Control and backtick is my shortcut to open the terminal. Very simple. Yeah. So in case if you're wondering how do I remember it, by practice, keep practicing, you will remember it. Okay. So this is how you open the terminal. And how do you comment out something? Very simple. So just click on this line. Okay. Click anywhere in the line. Simply press command / if you are on a Mac machine, right? Or if you are on a Windows machine, press Control and /. So this is for comment and uncomment. Very simple, right? Otherwise, you have to manually type these two /. Okay, simple. Okay, and then we talked about the modulus and the remainder operator. What does it do? Anyone? Modulus or the remainder operator? Yes, tell me. Hmm. Some of you remember the modulus or the remainder operator? Anyone? Yes, let's try.
Percentage.
Yeah.
Percentile.
Correct. You call it percentage or whatever, right? So what does it do? Hmm. It is very simple actually.
It provides a remainder. It
Hmm.
provides a remainder.
Yeah, it provides a remainder. Correct. Yeah, see, it's the same even in Java also. Yeah. So when do I use it? The real-time usage is majority of times we use the remainder operator if we want to find out if a number is even or odd. Majority of times you use remainder operator for this. There are some other reasons also where we use it, some other programs. Okay, this is where we also use the remainder operator. Okay, yeah. right? And then spacings are optional in JavaScript. Okay. For example, if I write code like this, it is very hard to read, right? Hmm? Very hard to read. Why? Because of lack of spaces. But if I simply add some more spaces, I think it looks a lot nicer. Something like this. Yeah. So use always optimal number of spaces, guys. Yeah, just for readability. And in the real projects, I was mentioning this part. Readability is not optional, it is mandatory, it is critical. Yeah, this is important, guys. Okay, so this is something you want to do. Okay. And then we saw something called as powers last time. This is called as double star 2. This is called as exponentiation operator. Yeah. How to read this? 3 square. How do we say in mathematics, right? 3 square. 3 square is 9. 3 cube is 27. Okay. One option is you can write 3 into star 3 star 3. But again, it is boring, repetitive. You are doing the same thing again and again. Yeah. This is much better, 3 cube. Okay. And then we saw we have some special values in JavaScript. What are these special values? NaN and infinity. Okay. NaN stands for not a number. Okay. Yeah. Right. And JavaScript is completely case sensitive. So NaN, where first and last n are capitalized, is different than this NaN. Okay. So guys, you have to follow this case. Yeah. We have some special values like infinity is a special value. Minus infinity is a special value. Very surprisingly, minus zero also is there in JavaScript. Okay. And then we have something called as declaration. And we covered this last time. Okay. What is variable declaration? Hmm. Anyone who remembers this? What is variable declaration? This is, hmm. Anyone? Variable declaration. What is the real meaning of declaration? Some of us know this, some of us don't. Hmm. Anyone who remembers?
We specify the data type of variable and
Hmm.
initialize it.
Okay. So that's a good try, Neeta. But the real meaning of variable declaration is reserving some space in the memory
Space in
and
the
yeah, right? And storing some value so that I can use it again and again. Okay. That is the real meaning of variable declaration. Okay. How do we do this in JavaScript? This is a syntax. Okay, you will use either the let or the const keyword, give the variable name using lower camel casing, use the assignment operator equal to, and then you write the variable value. And this assignment operator works from right to left. So whatever is the value you have written on the right, okay, is stored inside this variable, inside this memory location called this one. Okay, and never you should use var. Okay, why you should not use var? This is something we'll see towards intermediate JavaScript, not as of now. Okay, this is a very important interview question as well. What is the difference between let, const, and var? Okay, sometimes the interviewers want to just check, do you really have working knowledge or do you really understand why you should not use var? Okay, so the real meaning is I'm creating a new memory location. Okay. Yeah. What is the real meaning of this line? I'm creating a new memory location. The name of the memory location is num, and I'm storing this value 10 inside this memory location. Very simple. Okay. So this is called, there are two things. This part is declaration. This part is assignment. Okay. Declaration means only this part. I'm creating a memory location. That's it. And this part is called assignment. On this memory location, I'm storing this value 10. Now, why am I creating a variable? Because I don't want to write this number 10 again and again and again and again. Why? It will be more repetitive, right? That is why I'm storing this value 10 into this num so that I can use num again and again, which is easier, right? It is easier to work with this value, okay, rather than writing it again and again. That is why I'll store this value into a variable, okay? And this part, only declaration is happening. Okay. Assignment is not happening. Assignment is happening below. So rather than writing these two lines in separately, you can actually write in a single line. Okay. Where declaration and assignment are happening together. Okay. And then we saw lower camel casing. Hmm? Okay. So what is lower camel casing? It is a good practice, guys, for creating a variable name. Yeah. So you can create a variable name like this in Java or JavaScript. No, not allowed. Spacings are strictly not allowed. Okay, right? So if you want to give a meaningful name, right, what you do is if there are two words and you want to join them together, if you join these two, it becomes a little difficult to read. yeah, it becomes little difficult to read. So that is why we capitalize the first character of the second name onwards. Why? Just for readability. In Python, we use something called as snake casing. But in JavaScript, we don't use snake casing. We don't use underscore. Yeah, this is recommended in Python. But in programming languages like JavaScript, I'll do what? I'll capitalize the first character of second word, and this is how I'll use it. Yeah. So these are like standards, guys. These are like global conventions we all have to follow. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
This is called creative.
Piyush, I
Mhm.
have a doubt here, Piyush.
Yes, Shubham, tell me.
Yeah, so like we have like you have declared one variable, let num1, right?
Hmm.
So like I have learned Java, so I'm just asking on the basis of that. So if we are initializing any, declaring any integer, so it
Hmm.
stores 4 byte of memory. If we
Right.
are declaring string, so it stores 6 bytes, right? But here
Okay.
we are not initializing, like we are while declaring, we are not letting the system know like what number we are going to store, like what kind of data type we are going to store. Either it will be a number or a string. So
Hmm.
what is the
Right.
memory allocation here? Like how do we use that? Like is it
That's
going
a
to use the same memory space for all the data
okay.
types? Or like
Uh-huh.
how it works basically in
Okay.
JavaScript?
It's a very good question. Right. So, guys, this is a very valid question. So, what really happens in the case of JavaScript? Because, see, I'm using simply let, whether I'm storing a number or a string or a boolean or whichever type of data, I'm always using let or const. Okay. And JavaScript supports something called as dynamic typing. We'll talk about this later. So, for now, JavaScript, the concept that you want to understand is JavaScript doesn't clearly mention how much memory it is actually using, unlike Java. For example, in the case of Java, the container size is fixed. For example, what Shubham was asking, right? So if I have an integer, right, it always takes 4 bytes of memory. It is universal, okay? It is global actually. Always an integer will take 4 bytes of memory. Correct? Okay. Character will take some little memory. Float will consume more and double will consume even more if you are from Java. But the problem in JavaScript is since there is no, you can say, you can store any type of data. For example, if you remember, I told you, currently I can store a number. I can later on store the same I can even store a string also, even a boolean in the same variable. Okay. So basically, if we are from Java background, this is strictly not allowed, but JavaScript supports dynamic typing. So to answer this question, okay, JavaScript clearly doesn't mention how much memory it is allocating. So this always remains a mystery in the case of JavaScript. So unlike Java, there is no fixed memory allocation size that is happening. That is the true thing over here. Shubham, I hope that makes sense. This might be a little confusing because JavaScript is slightly weird actually in this case. Okay, especially if
Okay.
I'm from Java background.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what is happening here? This is called what? Lower camel casing convention. Okay. So I'm storing a string. In the case of strings, I can use single quote. I can even use the double quotes. Okay. We can even use the backticks. So we will understand this later on when we'll start with the strings, guys. This is super simple. Okay. Now the next part. Okay. So what is happening? Hmm? I'm actually increasing the value of this variable by 1. So num equal to num plus 1. So some of you were confused last time what is truly happening. So if num is 10 initially, okay, yeah, num is 10. So what is happening? I'm saying take the current value of num from the memory location, which is 10, add 1 to it and put it back because of the assignment operator. Put this new value back. So what is happening in the memory location? Now I'm throwing out this value 10 and putting a new value of 11. But if I don't do this, there's a big difference between num equal to num plus 1 versus just num plus 1. Here, you are just saying add 1 to num, but don't put it back. Correct? Now the memory location still has a value 10 only in this case. Okay? Yeah. So, in order to write num equal to num plus 1, there are a couple of ways. So, we can do this and we can do num plus plus also. Okay? Why? Okay, let me show you. So, if you do this, num equal to num plus 1. So technically, this is more like a repetition. You are using the same variable multiple times in the same line. Okay. This is good for practice, but in real projects, we try to remove this duplication. Okay. So if we have the same variable name on the left, same variable name on the right, then what do? We join the plus and the equal to operators together and then we write this. This is like a shortcut rather than writing this. Okay, so this also works, this also works. Okay, but this is more like a convenient shortcut. Okay, even better, if you know always you have to increment by 1 always, you will never use this. You will actually use this. Okay, but if you want to add any other number other than 1, then you can go for this. But for 1, always you can use num plus plus or plus plus num. This is super simple, guys. Very easy. Okay, so this is something what we covered. Then we also covered the unary versus binary versus ternary. Ternary we have not seen yet. We will see this in operators. Okay, so what is unary? So if you do num plus plus, this is unary operator. Why? You have only single operand on the left or single operand on the right. In this case, before this plus plus, we have a single operand. Okay, that is why plus plus is unary. While 1, see, 1 is called as addition operator. We all know that. Plus is an addition operator. But apart from being an addition operator, it is also called binary. Why binary? It has 1 operand on the left, 1 operand on the right. How many? We have 2 operands now. Okay, so it is also called as binary. Unary means 1, binary means 2, and ternary means 3. Okay, so JavaScript is super simple, damn simple, guys. That is all you want to keep telling yourself. JavaScript is easy. Why? You want to basically reprogram your brain into believing that. Okay, some of you feel that programming is difficult, coding is really not my cup of tea. Okay, not good. Please don't say this. Okay, don't say what you don't want to get true. Yeah. So next is const. Const means you want to store a constant, right? Okay. Yeah. So we'll see constants. Okay. Then is you should know what is modern JavaScript. Okay. While you're learning JavaScript, you'll hear terms like ES 2015, ES6. This is a version. Okay. So in the year 2015, we covered last time that so many major changes happened in JavaScript. Okay. So that specific change, that specific version, okay, is called either ES 2015 or ES6. So starting from ES6, we call it as modern JavaScript. Before ES6, everything is part of legacy or older JavaScript, like var is part of legacy, older JavaScript. Let and const are part of modern JavaScript. Classes and objects, destructuring syntax, modern for loop, for off loop, for in loop. So many features we will see as a part of your modern JavaScript. Okay, so why do I use const? Okay, I will use const if I want to store a fixed value. For example, my age. Okay, my age is a constant. My age keeps on increasing. It cannot be a constant. Okay, but my birth year, think about this. My birth year, can it ever change? No. Can your birth year ever change? No. It is a fix, right? Your salary, hopefully it is not constant. Okay, your salary should never be constant. My salary should never be constant. It should keep on increasing. Yeah, so we should not use const for this. Okay, so simple example, when to use const for universal constants like this. For example, this is a value pi. We all know, we all have studied in the school days, right? Value of pi, which is fixed 3.14. Now, whether you are in India, US, UK, anywhere, this value is fixed, universal constant. Yeah. So we use uppercase for constants. Why? Again, for readability. If anyone sees this, they can understand immediately, okay, it's a constant. Yeah. Okay. So technically, it's not like you have to do it, but it is always a good idea to do it. Yeah. So days in a week, it's a constant. So I'll capitalize it. Yeah. Okay. An important part, JavaScript executes from top to bottom. So JavaScript will execute this line first, then this line, then this line, then this line. So same like other programming languages. Yeah, it executes from top to bottom. Okay. So, and then we also saw something. If this is a very huge number, it is very hard to read. So what did we do? We used underscores for readability. Yeah. So we use underscore for readability. So if you compare these two lines, which one is looking better? I think there's no debate. You all can say this is looking a lot nicer, easier to read compared to this. This is very hard to read. Yeah. Same. This is a 16-digit credit card number. Without the underscores, is it easier to read? I think it's a nightmare. Okay. And right, this is called dynamic typing. Means previously you're storing a number. Now you're storing a string over here. Okay. Unfortunately, JavaScript allows this. Okay. Which can lead to a lot of issues in your code. Correct. So to avoid these issues, we use something called as TypeScript. Okay. So I'll just give you a very small idea about TypeScript. So people who are completely new in coding, completely new in TypeScript, this is easy. You can easily understand what is happening. See, I'm creating a variable and storing a string. Okay. Now, it is a rule in TypeScript that if I've stored this value, it will automatically understand it is what? It is going to be a string. So if I do something like this, let's say full name 1, full name 1. Now see what's happening. So here, firstly, let me turn off the Copilot, guys. I don't want Copilot. Yeah, so what happens? So go to the quick settings, click on the snooze button. Why? If I'm a beginner, I don't want Copilot. Why? I want to use my own brain. If Copilot will do everything for me, then what will I learn? Especially for learning purpose, please turn off the AI feature. Yes, you should use AI in your job, but while practicing, try to use, okay? Try to use your own brain rather than using this AI. Okay, for now, I have just turned it off and you see, it is now sleeping. For next 2 hours, it is not going to disturb us. Yeah. So see, I'm storing a string, so this variable can only store a string. But as soon as I try to store a number, immediately TypeScript is saying, hey, this is not allowed. How can you store a number into a string? But if you do this in JavaScript, JavaScript will simply support it. Why? Because this is allowed. Dynamic typing is allowed, but TypeScript says, hey, this is strictly not allowed. Okay. So basically, TypeScript is kind of very stricter, and the feature why we use TypeScript is called as static checking. Right? So JavaScript will not give you any errors, but TypeScript, if you do such kind of silly mistakes, TypeScript will immediately give you an error saying that, hey, what you're trying to do is something which is not allowed. Please don't do this. Okay, that is the reason for using TypeScript. Is it difficult to understand? No, it is super simple. Yeah. So TypeScript is basically a superset of JavaScript. You cannot learn TypeScript without fully learning JavaScript. Okay, so this is the fundamental. You have to learn JavaScript first, master it, then move on to TypeScript. So guys, I have prepared so many programs, so many assignments for you. Okay, so, and I'll be sharing all of them with you on a regular basis. So I have created a separate drive link, okay, dedicated drive folder, wherein I'll be adding all these files, all the folders. I'll be sharing detailed notes with you for all the concepts. Okay, then I'll be also sharing you all the assignments, everything. Yeah, so everything would be available in the drive. Yeah, so just a quick heads up so that you know where you have to find out all this information. Yeah, this is about your TypeScript. Yes, Nita, go on.
Yeah, Piyush here, that checking we are calling it as a static checking. Shouldn't it be dynamic? Shouldn't we call it as a dynamic checking as it is
Okay.
checking?
Actually, see, okay, I totally get it. So this is the name of the concept called static checking. Static checking means as you are writing the code, immediately TypeScript is letting you know whether there is an error or not. Means you don't even have to run your code. In the case of JavaScript, I'll have to run my code, then I'll figure out, oh, I made this mistake. Are you
So
getting
that
me?
is dynamic.
Yeah. So static checking means immediately, without even running the code, TypeScript is telling me that, hey, you have made a mistake. See, look at this error. Type number is not assignable to type string. You can clearly understand that, hey, this number, this memory location can only store a string value. How can you store a number? So this is the benefit of using TypeScript. That is why most companies are actually requiring TypeScript over JavaScript. Okay, so that is why this course is actually on both. Okay, I cannot just teach you TypeScript directly. We have to learn JavaScript as a prerequisite. Then we have to dive deeper into TypeScript. And TypeScript is going to be super detailed, guys. And everything in Playwright, we will be using TypeScript only. Okay. So this is just a quick introduction to TypeScript. Yeah, we'll cover TypeScript in very much detail later on, not as of now. Okay. And then lastly, we ended up with variable naming rules. Okay. Anyone who remembers these rules without looking at the notes? Anyone wants to quickly challenge yourself? Anyone wants to try? Hmm?
Yeah, it should start with alphabet now.
Okay.
Letter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else?
Underscore is allowed usually.
Mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
follow the camel case pattern, right, for variable declarations.
Yeah, exactly. Very
But
nice.
yeah, camel case is not compulsory. Man. That we do for the age of
Mm-hmm.
right. But that is not a rule. I mean, it is not compulsory.
Yeah, correct. It is not compulsory, but it is a good idea.
Good.
It's a good idea. Okay. So people who are engaging, that is very good. And people who are completely new, right? I would suggest you also start engaging. It doesn't matter even if your answer is wrong or correct. Why? It doesn't matter. I'm not a manager who's there to find faults. We are just studying together, guys. This is a focus study group. We all are studying together. Yeah, we all can learn from our experience. Okay. So I would request you all, okay, if you think you are shy, you are introvert, it is not helping you, it is hurting you. I was a very shy, very introverted guy. It actually hurted me a lot. Then somebody made me realize that, Piyush, If you truly want to succeed in IT, I'm not saying you have to be a bol bachan, but you still definitely want to, highlight yourself, talk about yourself, yeah, and get better. The only way to get confidence is by speaking more and more. Yeah, that is how I overcome my shyness. Okay, so what are the variable naming rules? The variable naming rules are: the first one, variable name cannot start with a number. That is the first rule. For example, this is invalid. See, one credit card, invalid number. Okay, second thing, variable names can only contain letters, numbers, underscore, and dollar. These are the only four things that are allowed, but you're not supposed to use them. Last two, it is allowed, but that does not mean you should use it. Correct? Okay, because underscore is for Python. We don't use this in JavaScript. Okay, dollar sign, you don't use credit card dollar. This looks very weird actually. Technically this is allowed. Why do you want to use a dollar? Give a more better name, meaningful name. Okay, so letters and numbers are good enough. And very important thing is, make sure variable names are descriptive. Means this is a very poorly written variable. Today you might remember you have stored a credit card number inside. Fine. Do you think you'll remember this tomorrow? I think you'll forget it. Most of you will forget it. What is the purpose of creating this variable? Yeah, that is why I always give a better name. And I'm telling from my personal experience. Yeah, previously I used to create very poorly written names. But then when I looked at my code probably 1 week later, even I forgot. Why did I create this variable? Even I'm not able to remember. Yeah, so always give a better name. And then we cannot use reserved keywords. For example, new, we will see function, we will see, okay, let is a keyword, const is a keyword. What are keywords? These are special reserved words. You cannot use as variable names. That's it. That is called your keywords. Another rule, never use uppercase letter for creating variables. They are reserved for constants. So these are the 5 variable naming rules. Do you want to cram them? Not at all. What you want to do is, if you're a beginner, just go through this file probably once every 2 or 3 days. That's it. This is how you keep on practicing. So guys, repeated practice is required if you want to master JavaScript. Okay, just learning one concept or practicing once is not enough. Okay, so that's the concept, guys. So this is what we covered last time. So I hope this is making you little comfortable with JavaScript. Okay, now we are about to do something which is something very, very exciting, and that is your first coding assignment. Okay, so now we are going to solve one of the classic puzzles in JavaScript. Okay, most of you will love it actually. Okay, and that puzzle, okay, is called as yours. Okay, let me just do one thing in my GS folder. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll click on this plus button. So plus button is for creating a new file. Second button is for creating a new folder. Correct? So what should I do? Just click on the new file button, create a new file called coding1.js. Okay, so I want to basically, I got a lot of DMs from most of new people. Okay, most new people have the same common question. Piyush, I'm completely new. I've never done coding. I've been a manual tester. I'm doing manual testing for last 10 years. I started coding completely. I never got an automation project, so I completely forgot the coding. So it is almost 5 years, sometimes 10 years, right? Okay, so some of you have this fear that can I really get into coding? So I just want to remove this fear. Okay, so coding is very simple, guys. So what is the problem we are trying to solve? Okay, so the first question, okay, is what we are about to do is swap the two variables. Some of you might have seen this looks very simple to some of you. Some of you even know the solution by heart also. But I'll tell you some good practices and some bad practices. Okay, this is something going to be very amazing, guys. Okay, so let me tell you what exactly I'm trying to do. So just bear with me. Even if you know the solution, you will still learn something new. I bet on this, guys. Okay, so let's see. So you have two variables. Let's say let a equal to 10. Okay. Then you have a second variable. Let b equal to 20. Now what is happening? So guys, in order to solve this puzzle, the best thing is you want to look at the memory locations as well. That is the best way of solving it. Okay. So, and suppose if you get this question in an interview, probably for a complete brand new guy, yeah, they might give you this puzzles thinking that what is your thought process here? If you just give a memorized solution thinking that you'll be able to impress the interviewer, if I'm your interviewer and if you tell me the solution by heart in less than probably 15 seconds, I will not be impressed because I knew that you have learned the solution. You have crammed the solution and you're just telling me the solution that you're not even thinking about. Yeah, that is not the good way. So you want to basically showcase your thinking ability in the interview. Yeah, that is important, guys. So how do we solve the such type of puzzles? Okay, so let's see. So I'm hoping that you're able to see my, okay, this thing, whiteboard. So what should I do? I'll draw the memory diagram, because remember last time we saw something. Yeah. If I'll show you something, you remember pictures, guys. Human brain remember pictures. That is why we want to see things again and again. Yeah. Okay, if you don't see something, if you just hear about it, you'll forget it. Yeah. So the first thing is you want to draw two memories. First is your A, second is your B. This is going to be very interesting. Okay, so these are your two memory locations. Okay, so the first one, let's call this guy as A. A. Second memory location, not this one, is B. Okay, so what I want to do, guys, with this, in the first memory location, what am I storing? I am storing 10. In the second memory location, I am storing value 20. Okay, now what I want to do? I want to, okay, so my end goal is what? My end goal is after the program ends, what should happen? Okay, final output should be A should be 20, B should be 10. Means the values are interchanged, swapped. A is initially holding 10, B is initially holding 20. After the program is finished, what should happen? A becomes 20, B becomes 10. Means the values are interchanged. How do I do this? This is very super simple actually. Okay, so we'll see two solutions. Okay, two solutions for this. So guys, how can I solve this? Think logically. This is where you're training your coding muscle, guys. Okay, and coding is like a muscle. You have to train it every single day. Yeah, how do we train it? Let's see. So guys, in order to solve this puzzle, what if I take this value 20 and store it into A? Let's see. Okay, so let me do one thing. So I'll click on this button. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm taking this value 20 and storing into this variable A. So what should I do? Let me remove this value and store a new value 20. Now we have a big issue. This is a big mistake I have done. What is that mistake? I have stored this value B into A. And how do I do this? This is super simple. How do we do? If I do A equal to B, how to read this? So guys, this is the assignment operator. Remember, we have seen the assignment operator. How does it work? It works from right to left. Okay, right to left. Means what is on the right gets stored also in A. So the real meaning of A equal to B, this line is take the value of B memory location, copy it and store it into A. So now A also contains 20, B also contains 20, and this 20 and this 20 are different values. As if you have a wallet, I also have a wallet. You have a 500 rupee note in your wallet, I also have a 500 rupee note. So your 500 rupee note is different than my 500 rupee note. Both values are same, but they are different. So this is called copying a value and putting it over here. But the big issue in this code is what? I have not taken a backup of this 10 first. I have directly stored B's value into A's. Right? That is a big problem. So what happened? This value A as 20 is lost. Correct? That is a problem with this code. Correct? So before I do this, okay, what I need to do? I need to take a backup of this value 10 and store it somewhere so that I can do this operation. So before I do this guy, I have to do one temporary operation, an intermediate operation. What that intermediate operation is? Okay, now I'll create a temporary memory location, another memory location somewhere, anywhere. Okay, this memory location, let me call it as temp or temporary, whatever. Okay, so what is this? This is called your temp memory location. So what should I do? Before I store the value of B into A, I'll take a backup of this A first into temporary so that A's value I have preserved somewhere. Now I can easily store B's value into A. So how do I do this, guys, in programming? Super simple. I'll simply say let of temp equal to A. Again, assignment operator happens from right to left. What is happening? What is the real meaning of this line? I am saying take the value of A, copy it and put it into temp. I'm saying it one more time. Okay, so please focus this. I'm saying take the value of A memory location, copy it and put it into temp. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. So I will not do this, guys, first. This is not done. Let me remove this. So before I store this value, I'll take a backup of this 10 over here. So how? I'll simply say let temp equal to A, means copy the value of A, put it into temp. Now I'm free to do this guy. Okay, so I have stored the backup of this value 10, which is fine. Now, can I do A equal to B? A equal to B means copy the value of B, put it into A. So now this is allowed. Now this is allowed. So what is the new value of A? It is no longer 10. It is now 20. Correct? The new value of A is no longer 10. It is 20. I think even if you are a beginner, now you can tell me what should I do next? So if you see, what was my end goal? My end goal was A should contain 20, B should contain 10. So A is now containing 20. So this part I have solved it, right? This part is solved. Only this is remaining. What should I do? Now think logically. Even if you're a brand new person, tell me what should I do so that B should contain 10? Currently B contains 20. Think about this.
B is equal to
B is equal to 10.
Yeah,
B equal to temp. Exactly. Yeah, this is how we do. So most of you remember this solution. Why? Because you have crammed it. Cramming is a very poor way of remembering the solution. Okay, right? I still remember 10 years back, I remembered I crammed all these solutions. I was thinking that I'm going to impress the interviewer by telling all these questions in fraction of seconds. How silly I was. Nobody told me that Piyush, cramming is the worst way of, cracking the interview questions. Interviewer wants to see how am I thinking. If somebody gives you this question, this is how you need to solve so that they can understand, oh, this man knows how to think. But if you just directly write the solution without sharing your thought process, right, it is not good, guys. This is the right way of solving it. Is this difficult, guys? Even if you're a brand new, even if you're not from IT background, this is super simple. This is basically commonsensical approach, right? This is how you swap it. Yeah. So now can we do the same in your code if you've understood the solution? Yeah. Now I can simply say let of temp equal to A. What is the meaning of this? I'm saying back up the value of A into temp. That is the meaning. Okay. Yeah. And if you remember, I told you one thing. I'm writing this through an AI tool. I'm speaking, this AI tool is transcribing actually for me. Okay. So this is like magic. Okay. Now I've stored the backup of A into temp. Now what I want to do is, I can now do this. I can say A equal to B. What is happening? I'm saying take the value of B, take a copy and store into it. This is very important. Take the current value of B's memory location, copy it and store it into A's memory location. That is what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. B, copy it, put it into A. And finally, you have to do what? B equal to temp. Okay. So this is the same solution what we just did. Okay. Right. Now what am I saying? Take the value of temporary memory location, copy it and put into B. Yeah. Right. So this is the solution, guys. And now if I simply do console.log A comma B, let us see the output. Okay. Initially A was 10, B was 20. Now A is 20, B is 10 actually. So if I run this code, see this output 20 and 10. Why did we solve this puzzle? Because we wanted to get the confidence that yes, coding is not difficult. I want to get better with coding. Okay. So every single day you want to remind yourself, coding is easy. JavaScript is easy. I'm getting better. Okay. If you repeat this again and again, your energy, your mindset starts changing. This is how I was able to alter my personality. Okay. So is it possible to change your personality? The answer is yes. Okay. So this is something you can try. Yeah. So this is the first solution, guys. But the problem in this case, let me show you something. Can you find out what is what? Is this A or is this A? Tell me, guys. Can you figure out is this A or is this A from the output? Okay. Don't look at the code. If I just do like this. Now, can you figure out is
no.
A20 or is A10? No, right?
Yeah.
So if you're from Java background, I know it's very simple. What do you do? How can you figure out? I want to print this as well. A is 10, 20, B is 10. How can I print this? Anyone wants to share? This is easy.
I think you can write a statement that shows that A is equal to 20 inside that console by putting in string and then let them know that A is 20, then B is 10.
Okay. Right. Glad to hear from you, Olufemi, my good friend. Yeah. So yes, this is how we do. Okay. But guys, in JavaScript, we have a very convenient shortcut. Okay. Let me show you. If you are from Java or JavaScript background, okay, most of the times you will do like this because this is something most people don't even know. So you will do something like this. A is A. Okay. Right. And you can actually do something like this. Okay. Then you write B as B. Something like this. This is not the good way, guys. Not at all a good way. Let me show you how do we write this in a much nicer way. Okay, so most of you will actually do concatenation. You don't want to do concatenation, guys. Okay, if you have written something like this, simply do this. This is a very handy shortcut. Even advanced people also don't know this. This is a shortcut actually. Now let me show you something. If I click on the play button, see, is this looking nice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Super simple, guys. All you have to do is just write this. Basically, we are using a part of modern JavaScript. Okay. Actually, this is an object. It is a key value pair. You may not be able to realize it as of now, but we'll talk about this in advanced JavaScript. For now, just understand this is the simplest way of printing values. Correct? Yeah. I made this
So it's
commitment.
printing here in the form of JSON, right?
Not a JSON technically. It is actually a JavaScript object. And JavaScript object and JSON are different. JSON is universal. Okay, like JSON file can be used with Python, Java, any programming language. It's a universal, but this is JavaScript object. Okay, this is what we do. Okay, now we'll solve this problem using another approach. Okay, and that problem is also super simple. Now, sometimes, probably if you are again giving the interviewer might put a restriction, and that restriction is you are not allowed to use a temporary variable. Yeah. So now the interviewer says, okay, fine, this looks good, but you're not allowed to use a temporary variable. Means you cannot create a third variable. Yeah. For storing a backup, but you still want to do it. How can you do this? Again, in order to do this, let us again solve it, guys. This is super simple again. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So what do I do? Let's see. So now I'll do this. One sec. Okay. So on my memory diagram, okay, now I hope you're able to still see this thing. Okay, so this is going to solve, we are going to solve it using a very unique approach. I hope you're able to see my memory diagram again. So this time I'm not drawing any memory here. What am I drawing here, guys? Yeah, so this is an A4 size paper. Imagine this is an A4 size sheet. This is another A4 size sheet. Some of you might be completely confused. What the heck? What am I trying to do? Let me show you. Okay. So guys, imagine this is your first A4 paper. Imagine this is a real paper. Yeah, this is another real paper. You have put all those papers side by side. On the first paper, you are drawing, you have a pen. You are actually drawing this number 10 over here on the first paper. On the second paper, what are you doing is you are just writing this value from pen. Yeah, you're not doing this digitally. You are actually doing it in copy and pen. Correct? Yeah. So you have the first value 10, you have a second value 20. Okay. And your task is, okay, by the time you are done, this paper contains 20, this paper contains 10. Correct? But you're not allowed to use a temporary variable. What should I do? What should I do? Okay. So let us start thinking a little unconventionally, little out of the box. Okay. Now let's see what do we do. So guys, imagine what if I do, let's say 10 plus 20. Suppose if I do A plus B. Let's see. Yeah, if I simply do A plus B, what is A plus B? 10. This is A, which is 10. Okay, let me write also so that it becomes easier so that you don't get confused. The first paper is A, the second paper is B. Yeah, so what am I doing? I'm doing little permutations and combinations because this time I'm not allowed to use temporary variable. So let us try and see. So I'm doing A plus B. What is A plus B? A is 10, B is 20. So A plus B is 10 plus 20 is 30. Can I do this? A equal to A plus B. What is the real meaning of this line? I think now most of you know. We have covered the assignment operator. What is the real meaning of this line? Please tell me. If I do A
A
equal to A
will
plus
have 30. A
exactly.
will have 30.
Very good, Abha. So now A will have 30. Means I'll do the right hand side calculation first because assignment happens from right to left. So I will do this thing first, A equal to A plus B, which is 10 plus 20 is 30. And I'm putting it back into A. So now A is no longer 10. On this paper, I'll actually physically cut from my pen. I'm cutting it. Yeah. And now I'm storing a new value called as 30 now. Okay. So what happens now? On this first paper, I have 30 value. On the second paper, I still have 20. Okay. Right. Now, can I do something with these two values so that the values are swapped? Now think. Okay. Now, here, guys, what did we do? A equal to A plus B. Now, if I do this, suppose if I subtract this guy, 30 and 20 and put it back into B. Think, what should be the output? Do you have to remember or cram this? No, not needed. This is super simple. Just think. A has 30 now, B is 20. What can I do with these two numbers so that B should contain 10?
Minus.
Minus. Very simple.
20.
Simply do B equal to A minus B. What is happening? A is no longer 10 now. The A's new value is 30 actually. Okay. So A is 30. So 30 minus 20 is now 10. Correct. So what am I doing now? I'm removing this value 20 and adding a new value called E minus B, which is 30 minus 20, which is now 10. So that is a new value on this paper. So I'm actually going to physically cut it from pen and putting this new value 10. So it means again, see what happens. Okay. My first part is solved. What was my original values? A is 20, B is 10. That is my original values. So B is actually 10 now. So B's value is swapped. Correct? This part I have solved. So only what is remaining? A should be 20. A is now 30, but A should not be 30. A should actually be 20. Can I do something with these two numbers so that A becomes 20 now? What do you think?
Yeah.
A equal to A minus B.
A equal to A minus B. This is how we solve this, guys. Some of you, if I'll ask this question, you know what they'll tell me? They will actually, like a bullet train, they will give me the solution. Why? They have memorized the solution. I've memorized this solution 10 years back. I'm being very open and honest with you. Most people have memorized this solution. All right. They can write it immediately, but they are not showing the true thinking ability. This is how you want to showcase the solution. This is the true, you know, problem solving ability, guys. This is how you want to develop. Can you develop it on the first day itself? The answer is no. Coding is super easy. All you want to do is just give yourself some time and patience and long term. Okay, that is how you get better. So what happens now? A equal to A minus B means 30 minus 10 is 20 and you are putting it back into A. So you are again crossing this value 30 and now you're putting the new value as 30 minus 10 is what? 20. See what happens? A is now 20, B is now 10. Did I use any temporary variable? Nope. This is my solution, guys. Just copy this guy, put it in the VS Code. This is the second way of writing. But if I directly show this solution, would it make any sense? Nobody would be able to understand what the heck is this. A equal to A plus B, B equal to A minus B. Can you understand what is happening? Nothing you can figure out from here. Yeah. But if you do this, now it becomes super simple. Why you are doing each operation? Tell me, guys. Able to follow? Some of you interacted just now. I'm so glad you are able to understand. Now repeat after me. Tell this in your head. Coding is easy. JavaScript is easy. I'm getting better. You want to repeat this again and again. This is how you train your subconscious mind. Nobody talks about this, but I'm a big believer in personal development and I know these are accelerated techniques, guys. Okay. Why do you want to make your learning difficult? Yeah. When you can actually enhance it. Okay. Every single day, look into the mirror and remind yourself coding is easy. I'm getting better. I'm getting better with Playwright. Okay. That is how you get better. Okay. This is the first coding assignment, and I'm sure this must have given you some good confidence. So, people who are completely new, tell me, are you able to understand this solution? Is it giving you some confidence that yes, you can actually get better, right? Because some of you actually message me saying that Piyush, हमसे नहीं हो पाएगी coding. I doubt if I can really do coding. Okay, right? So, is it giving you some confidence? Please tell me. Either post in the
Yes,
chat,
yes, Piyush. Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
very well. Very, very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. This is how we get better, guys. We get better day by day. Okay, right? Okay, how do you eat an elephant? Not in a day. You do it piece by piece, brick by brick. That is how you learn coding. Every single day, do something. Nobody tells you have to study for 1 hour every single day. No, 10 minutes of focused learning, non-distraction learning without watching Instagram or without watching a phone is actually necessary. Okay, so this is how it get better. So this is your first coding assignment, and we'll keep doing this, guys. Okay, this will actually give you a lot of confidence. Now, moving to the next part. So we have learned what? So we have seen this, we have seen this. So guys, we have done the first one, which is number. Let us go to the second one, strings. We will learn strings in very much detail. Okay, so Roshni is saying, yes, I never thought I'll learn Java. Now it feels more easy to learn. Thank you, sir. I'm so glad to hear this. Guys, this is what, because I still remember when I was learning coding, I was really struggling big time. I had a lot of fear, especially with Java. I don't know why, from college itself. And that was my first, okay, and that was my only, you can say, subject where I actually got a supplementary. Yeah, I failed in IT and I'm an IT trainer. Can you believe that? Okay, so that is something. Okay.
Is semicolon not necessary at the end of the line?
No, not needed. Semicolon is completely optional in JavaScript. It is mandatory in Java, but it is completely optional in JavaScript. Okay, yeah. So this is something. Okay, so let's see, guys. Okay, so now we are about to learn something called as your strings. So we have completed numbers. Now let's see about strings. But before we start with strings, let us start with Boolean. Why it is even more simpler. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Sorry if I'm going little slow. You may not like it, but I think I never want to rush to the topics because eventually, guys, it doesn't matter. Even if this course gets completed in two months and few more extra days, I think it doesn't hurt, right? As long as your concepts are clear. So my goal is not just to rush through and cover the topics. My goal is actually so that you should be able to understand and apply it in the real world. You should be an individual contributor. That is my goal. Individual contributor, whether they give you a team or basically give you something from scratch, you should be able to do this. You have this confidence that yes, I can handle any Playwright project from scratch. Okay, so some people are
Yes,
saying
your pace, your pace is fine, Piyush. We are
yeah,
understanding everything clearly. Yeah, no need to
perfect.
change anything.
Okay. I'm a naturally fast talker. I like to speak at 1.5x. So I have to curb my natural instinct. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so what are Booleans, guys? Let's see. Okay, so Booleans. So Booleans are simply true or falsy values. Okay, so guys, I'll give you a small 5 minutes of break. I think after just covering Booleans, because some people say they like to have a small break. It's a 2 hour class. In case if you're not sure, this is a weekend only batch. It is only Saturday, only Sunday. Yeah. So just 1 hour is not enough. Otherwise, we'll never complete this course. Okay. So we will take around 2 hours plus on Saturday and 2 hour plus on Sunday. Yeah. So Booleans. What is a Boolean? It is basically a question that can only be answered in yes or no, true or false. Yeah. See, I said it typed. So cool. Yeah. I'll give you some examples. Suppose if I do this, let is logged in, something like this. I'm saying true. What is happening? So if you observe, I'm using this word is over here. What is the real meaning of this word is? Some of you know this, some of you don't. Anyone wants to guess? Is there any reason for writing this word is? I could have written like this also, logged in. That is also fine. Nothing is wrong technically. Is there any special reason for writing this word is? The answer is yes. Anyone who wants to guess or knows?
As we want to mention the state over here.
Okay. You can be a little more elaborative. You can try. Anyone else? But that's a good try, Nita.
I guess the name is self-defining, like what exactly we are trying to do here.
Okay.
Is logged in, either it will be a true or a false. So
You are
it
very
it
close.
it starts like it is kind of a question mark if we started
Exactly.
with is.
Yes. Now this is what I wanted to hear. So guys, in English, if I'm starting any sentence with is, right? Is, what is the meaning of this? I'm asking a question, right? Is it done? Is it done? Okay. So it means I'm asking a question. See, I'm basically giving a better name to this variable so that it becomes self-explanatory to everyone. So I'm using a very nice practice, which is the naming convention. Okay. So I'm asking a question which can only be answered in yes or no. Okay. For example, if I'll ask you, is today weekend? Can you ever say yes? Yeah, you can say yes. You can say no. Can you say maybe? Right? Only if we are kind of drunk. Okay, then only we'll say maybe. Otherwise, we'll always say true or false. Correct? So, Boolean is something which can only be answered in true or false. There is no third value. Right? Numbers are infinite. Correct? Strings are infinite, but Booleans are just two. Okay, so this is the only data type which has only, it supports just the two values, true, false. Another example. Suppose if I ask you, okay, let me use const this time. Is water wet? I think this is a silly question, but I'm sure you all can relate to. What is it? I'm asking a question. Is water wet? We all know it is wet only, correct? It is true. Yeah. But if I simply write water wet, it might confuse. What is it I'm trying to do? But if I'm saying is, I think it is making my intent more true. Yeah. So always use is or has or something. Why? I'm asking a question. Yeah. This is about All about booleans, guys. Okay, this is very simple. Okay, so this is about your booleans. Okay, so now we can take a quick 5-7 minutes of break. Okay, so it is 8:37. Now we'll start at 8:45 now. Okay, and if you want to ask me anything, you can meanwhile. So I can temporarily. Okay, I think the recording is on, right? Yeah, recording is still on. Correct. Let me just pause. Okay. So Pavleen has asked this question that at 15 years of experience, okay, what should be the next path? Should I go to management? Should I go to technical PM role? Or what should I do? Yeah, a lot of people have this kind of question. Okay. So my recommendation in this case would be at this level of experience, the first step is not to randomly start jumping. Okay. Right. Some people say AI is in big demand. Okay. So without even applying my brain, I just started learning AI. Right. That is called
Yeah.
bhechal. I don't know if you understand this. In
Yeah,
Hindi, we
yeah.
call it bhechal. If everyone is doing something, let me also do it without even applying my brain. No, don't do this. Okay. Don't just start randomly learning AI or jump into PM or management just because people are saying it. Okay. First,
Exactly.
yeah, first thing is don't just do what people are telling you to, right? Because that may or may not be perfect for you. Yeah. First, identify the kind of work you actually enjoy doing. Sorry if I'm telling you something which is very honest, right? First,
Yeah.
identify what is the kind of work you truly enjoy doing. Like in my case, I enjoy doing coding. Coding is something I can actually do it for hours and hours without getting tired. Find out what is that thing जो आपको करके अच्छा लगता है. Whatever you
Yeah.
like doing. Yeah, and where are your strengths? Yeah, some of you are good with coding, some of you are good with technical, some of you are good with management stuff. Okay, so if you enjoy solving technical problems or maybe architectural problems or automation or quality strategy, right? Right, you can stay technical and add AI as a skill layer. Okay, now in that case, you can learn how AI can improve your current work, not just AI for the sake of learning AI because everyone is telling you to learn AI. No, right? Because your career path belongs to you, right? You cannot just follow somebody else's career path. Okay. And if you enjoy coordination, maybe stakeholder discussions, maybe planning, maybe delivery pressure, people management, and business outcomes, then management of PM may be explored. So, can you see now? I'm telling you two different paths depending upon your interests. Are you getting me, Pavleen? Yeah. So depending upon your interest, it totally, you can choose which path. So moving to PM or management only because technical feels confusing can become another problem. So what is my suggestion? I would suggest sit down calmly. Okay. Preferably in the morning when your brain is fully fresh. Okay. Right. Sit with a piece of pen and paper. Write down your thoughts on paper. Yeah. Don't use a smartphone for this. You want clarity. You don't want confusion. Yeah, because the moment you get one notification, one WhatsApp message, immediately your brain will completely get defocused. You don't want to get defocused. Yeah, that is why I really like to turn off my WhatsApp a lot of times. Why? I don't want unnecessary messages again and again. Why? I've turned off all these notifications. I don't get any notification. I see my WhatsApp messages only when I'm opening WhatsApp. Okay. So in your case, I'll tell you, you should write down what drains you, what energizes you. You can check where your experience has the strongest value. Yes, you might want to learn AI basics in parallel, but connect it to your domain also. Then later on, you can decide whether you want to become a strong technical leader, engineering manager, maybe QA manager, because at your experience, 15 years, right? You cannot just be you can say a manual tester anymore at 15 years experience. I hope you understand. Why
Yeah,
would
I've already worked as a manager, right? But
correct?
that has yeah, that's what I wanted to figure it out. Actually,
Correct.
that's the clarity I wanted, because
Exactly.
you have to choose one path and you
Yes.
have to focus on that, and then you
Yes.
need not to come back from there. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it will again be a loop. So I don't
Yeah.
want to again fall in that loop. Yeah.
Totally agree with what you're saying. So at 15 years, yes, you already have an edge because you have worked in IT for 15 years, right?
Mm,
You do not need to start from zero. What you need, Pavleen, is you need direction, positioning, and more clarity. Again, clarity is something most people lack. Why? We are always flooded with Instagram, these notifications. We are always distracted. How can we get clarity most of the time? Okay,
yeah.
right? Right. So most of us don't really have clarity why we are always busy. Suppose if I come home, right,
Mm,
I we'll take our smartphone. If we don't have a smartphone, we'll open the TV and do something. If nothing is there, we'll start reading the newspaper. Can you see this like an obsessive compulsive disorder to do something every time, not just sitting idle and just do nothing so that we get some clarity. कुछ ना कुछ करते ही रहना हमेशा. Never free.
actually.
Okay, right.
Yeah, thanks. While talking, you to you. I think I'm trying to, it's positioning, my brain is positioning for an answer. So
Right.
that's really good actually. Thank you.
So, yeah, I cannot share a proper answer. I'm just helping you with some thoughts, some direction. Now, you can just sit down and see and do a little brainstorming with yourself. Or maybe you can sit with your family and just do it just alone or with your family, whatever works for you. Yeah. And I'm sure you will get the clarity. Just you will find out what is the right thing for you eventually. वो कहते हैं ना अंदर से
Yeah.
आवाज आती है.
Yeah, thanks. This works. Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad I could help. Okay, so yeah. Okay, guys. So actually, I like to speak in Hindi. I mean, in the middle of the flow because I'm thinking in Hindi and translate in English. That is how I'm delivering. Yeah, because my brain is like this. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, okay, let's start. So we were doing okay, Booleans, right? Now let's start. Okay, I'm resharing my screen. And some of you who still want clarity, and if you're also needing some direction, you can also drop me a WhatsApp or something. Yes, this is not just a Playwright course again I was mentioning. Yeah, this is more of a mentorship program wherein I really want to bridge the gaps. I know most of you, 90% of you really want more clarity, really want more direction. Yeah, like Pavleen asked, some of you didn't ask. I know that. Why I was like this, 90% people are having this confusion. Okay, so let's start. Now the next concept what we are about to learn is the dynamic typing.
Piyush, sorry, my name is Akhila. I have a question. So didn't you say that const should always be like put it in capitals, all uppercase?
Oh, okay. Yes, we can do that. Okay, see, we are just
Yeah,
learning. So, okay,
yeah,
you can do like
yeah,
this.
yeah. That's one question, and the other one that I have is, we did the swapping the values of the variables, isn't it? So for that we used the temp, right? So
Right.
is there any way that, because now temp is an like number, right?
Mm-hmm.
It stores number.
Mm-hmm.
So like we can't change it to any other variable, right? Like data type. So is there any way that we can delete or reuse that variable or
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So what we are doing is see, okay, who was asking this question? I totally forgot.
my name is Akhila.
Akhila. Okay. So Akhila, in this case, I'm creating a temporary variable. So this, see, I'm saying temporary variable. Variable means I can store any kind of value. In JavaScript, we have dynamic typing. What I was about to cover next means I can store any type of value. Okay. So there are two solutions as I was mentioning. The first solution is storing this value of 8 temporarily so that I can put a new value so that this value I'm keeping a backup of. In this way, creating a temporary variable is absolutely needed here. Are you getting or still confused? So
Yeah. I got that. I got the logic behind it, but the thing, what's running in my mind is like, temp is a variable that we have created, and
right,
like it has got some memory allocated to it, right?
right.
So is there any way that we can like, delete that memory allocated to it
Right.
or
But okay, before I answer this
reuse that? Because like this is
question,
like, for example, like this variable we used only to swap the values, right? So
right.
in case if at all I have to use, like I want to use this variable elsewhere, so
You can do that. You can do that. See, as long as
yeah.
your program is running, all these variables that you have created, all these memory locations would stay active. But as soon as this program is over, this memory location is destroyed. This memory location is destroyed. This is also destroyed. So all
Okay.
these memory locations stay active only when the program is running. Yeah. And coming
Yeah.
to your question, can you use this temporary memory location elsewhere? The answer is yes. As long as the program is running, you can use something. Suppose if you later on you want to store your name, say Akhila over here. Can you do that? Yes, this is allowed. See,
But
JavaScript.
in TypeScript it isn't it? Like
Exactly. In
because
TypeScript, it's not correct
yeah,
because
so in
TypeScript.
TypeScript, do we have any way that, we can clear that memory allocation and then we reuse that
Mm-hmm.
any other way?
Hmm. Okay. So firstly, we don't delete the memory locations unnecessarily. That is not considered a good practice because anyway, the memory locations are deleted automatically. So this is not something we really want to do ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is not something we truly want to do. Why? JavaScript, see, we give this control to JavaScript. Why? It is not really needed actually. Okay, to answer your question. But yes, if you want to use this variable elsewhere, you can do this. But is it needed? The answer is no. So again, it
Oh,
depends on your requirement.
okay. Yeah.
And if you're
Perfect.
still confused, no problem. After, as we continue along, right, all these coding questions will actually start getting clearer. Once your understanding goes deeper and deeper, these questions will actually will go lesser and lesser. Okay.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Piyush.
Okay. So guys, now the next part is very important. That is, this variables can change type. Okay. This is something which is a very weird feature of JavaScript. This is called as dynamic typing. This is for your understanding that you should know this concept. I'll give an example. Let's say I'm creating a variable called num donuts. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm using lower camel case. I'm storing this value 12. Now what am I doing? I'm saying num donuts equal to, let's say, false. In the real projects, I will never do this. I would actually create two separate variables because these are two separate values. Okay, I will not do this. Okay, so num donuts is 12, num donuts equal to false means I'm saying store this value 12 into this memory location. Then I'm saying throw this value out and put a new value false in, which is weird. In Java or TypeScript, this is strictly not allowed. Okay, this can lead to a lot of bugs, a lot of issues in your code. Ideally, you should never do this, but JavaScript supports it. So this is something you want to be careful with. Okay, yeah. Later on, you can assign a new value to this num donuts. Let's say you can now store a string, say hello. Unfortunately, okay. So this is allowed. This is also allowed, guys, but you're not supposed to do this. Yeah, as per good practice. That is the reason for using TypeScript. So TypeScript is basically a superset of JavaScript. Okay, it has a lot of stricter rules, and one of those rules of TypeScript is variables cannot change their data types. Yeah, and because of this feature called static checking. That is why I want to use TypeScript. Okay, so this is a more, you can say, commonsensical reason for using TypeScript. Nothing special. Okay, now let's start with something called as strings. What are strings? Okay, let's see. Let's study strings. So strings are pieces of text or group of characters. What is a string? My name. Look at this. My name is Piyush. What is it? It's a string only. It's not a number. It's not a Boolean value. It's a string. Now, how can I create a string? We can create strings either in single quote or double quote or backticks. Okay, backtick. So where is the backtick key? It is just below the escape key. Okay. Yeah, just below the escape key. And it looks like this. Very different type of a quote. This is not single quote. This is not double quote. This is, I don't know. This is called backtick. Okay. And we use backticks very frequently in JavaScript. Okay. Let us see some examples. How do we use strings? So guys, we are about to dive deeper and deeper into JavaScript now. So please pay very close attention. Okay. So let's see. So I'm creating a variable called first name. Okay. And I'm storing this value. Let's say something. Say maybe Rakesh. What is it? I'm storing a name. What is it? It's a string. Why? I'm wrapping in double quote. Anything that is in single quote or double quote or backtick is a string. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I've created a string. Okay. So now let me create another string. Let MSG. This time let me use single quotes. Yeah. Hi there. This is also allowed. So double quote is allowed. Single quote is also allowed. Correct? Yeah. Let me create something. Let's say animal. This time let me use backticks. I can even use backticks also. Like in Java, if you're from Java background, you can only use double quotes, right? You cannot use single quote. You cannot use backticks, right? Single quote is for characters. Yeah. But here you can use double quote, single quote, backticks. Okay. Yeah. This is something. Okay. Now, and this is wrong. You cannot do like this. You're starting with a double quote. Okay. Suppose this, let me write bad string. This is not allowed. You're starting with double quote, ending with single quote. No. Same. You're starting with single quote, ending with double quote. No. You have to be consistent. If you're starting with double quote, you have to end with double quote. If you're starting with single quote, you have to end with single quote. It is about being consistent. This is not good. Okay. Yeah. So this is one concept. The next concept, okay, how to find out the data type. Sometimes it becomes very important to find out the data type. And how can we do that? Using the type of operator. What is this type of operator? It simply tells me the data type of a value. Let me show you some examples. Okay, so, okay, is my browser visible? I think it is not. Let me show you my browser again. I think now it should be visible. So I'll go to Google or any website. So I'm doing right click on the inspect button. Okay, I'm going to the console tab, clearing it out. Okay, now what am I writing? I'm saying type of space. So type of is an operator. So guys, O is always in lowercase. Some of you think, do I have to, do this lower camel casing, right? No, type of everything is in lowercase. I want to find out if this is a number. See, JavaScript tells you it is a number. This is how we can find out if something is a number or a string or a boolean. I want to find out if Piyush is a string or not. Look at this. This is a string. This is a number. And how can we do that? Using the type of. And can you see type of is slightly weird? It is giving me a number. Is it actually a number, guys? Observe this carefully and tell me, what do you think? Is it truly a number?
It's a string.
Yeah, it's a string. Why?
String.
It's wrapped in single quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that is wrapped in single quote or double quote or backtick is a string, even if it is a number. So this is slightly odd. It is a number, but wrapped as a string. Very strange in JavaScript. So you'll keep on hearing this from me. JavaScript is somewhat odd, somewhat weird. Okay. So this is fine. This is a string, but again, slightly odd again. It is a string, but still wrapped as a string. Okay. Yeah. So using the type of operator, you can find out. Okay. And guys, if I do the same thing in VS Code, let me show you. Console.log, I'm saying type of Piyush. This time, if I click and play, observe guys, it is giving me a string, but you don't see this single quote in VS Code. So if you basically output any string using console.log, it will not show you single or double quotes, but it is still a string. Yeah, so this is one difference between VS Code versus browser. So to be double sure, you can also check in the console and you can clearly find out it is actually a string. It is also a string number, but wrapped as a string. Okay, and everything is in lowercase in type of. Correct. So one more example, type of 87. It's a number. But if I do type of 87 in double quotes, now it is a string, guys. See, 87 is a number, but 87 in double quotes is a string. So anything in double quote, anything in single quote is a string only. So this is a rule of programming. Okay. Yeah, this is something. Now, we can use quotes inside quotes. Okay. Let me give an example. This is a single quote. Correct? Yeah. Can I write double quote inside? Yes. Within the single quote, I can write as many double quotes. This is allowed. So double quote inside single quote is allowed. Okay. Yeah. So single quote inside double quote, that is also allowed. In the backticks, both are allowed. So double quote is also allowed. Single quote is also allowed. Okay. Yeah. But double quote inside double quote, that is not allowed. It is going to break your string. Look at this. Now JavaScript is confused. This is the start of the string. Now JavaScript treats this as the end of the string. But if I write double quote somewhere here, now JavaScript is confused. Should I consider this as the end of the string or should I consider this as the end of the string? Yeah. So never do this. Never do this. Yeah. So to make it work, you have to use an escape character. But again, it is making your code look very ugly actually. So yeah, try to avoid using double quote inside double quote or single quote inside single quote. Technically it is allowed, but again, it is not so readable actually. So don't do this. Yeah. Okay. So we have seen this. Now, another example. So first name, let me just cut it from here and let me do this. So I'm saying first name, let me use my name only, Piyush. Now I'm saying let last name equal to Gupta. Okay. Now I'm saying first name plus last name and I'm doing console.log. I'm sure most of you know the output of this. This is easy, but there are some twists actually for this. Okay. Who can tell me the output of this code, guys?
Piyush Gupta without space in between first name and last name.
Yeah, very good, Deepak. Yeah. So basically, this is called as string concatenation. String concatenation. You're joining two strings. Okay. Now, there's a deeper concept here. What is also happening from anyone can tell me what is happening from memory point of view? From within the memory, what is happening? Anyone? Most people can tell this correctly. String concatenation is happening. But in memory, what is happening?
I think too much space occupied.
Okay, good try, Olufemi. What is truly happening, guys, is a
Creating a
brand new
new,
string. Yes, Shubham. If you are from Java background, it is kind of similar thing only.
yeah,
I'm
creating a new
creating,
memory space.
yeah, a new memory space, a brand new string in the memory. But what is the name of this memory location? Yes, Shubham, if you know. What is the name of this memory location? I'm not using any assignment operator. I'm not giving it a name. Then what is the
Yeah,
name of the memory? Hmm? A
I
brand
don't remember
string.
that.
No problem. We'll talk about this. Okay. This memory location is unnamed. It has no name.
Anonymous.
Unknown, anonymous, something. Yes, Olufemi, correct. Yeah. This memory location is unnamed. It has no name. Then what happens? In this case, what is going to happen is after some time, JavaScript will automatically delete it. Why? Because you cannot use this memory location actually. Why? It does not have a name. How can you use it later on? So this is like a one-time use memory. Okay. This process is called garbage collection. Some of you might have heard this in Java also. Why we have garbage collection? For memory optimization. Okay. For memory optimization. That's why we are doing this. Okay. So if I'm basically trying to join or concatenate two strings, yeah. So what happens? A new memory location is created, but it is unnamed. Why? I'm not using any assignment operator. Okay. So guys, in the real projects, I will never do this. This is for your learning. If you do this, it will give me Piyush Gupta. Fine. Without a space. Right? But it is unnamed. You cannot use it. So JavaScript will delete it after some time. Why? Just to save the memory. Okay. Why? I cannot use it again. Yeah. Okay. So in the real projects, what I would actually do is I would do something like this. Let final string equal to first name plus last name. Now, same thing I'm doing, but observe guys, what is happening? This time, not only I'm joining or concatenating two strings, I'm actually giving it a memory location name, right? Now, this is no longer unnamed. Yeah. So this memory location also has a name called final string. This memory location will stay as long as the program is running. But if I don't do this, if I only do this, this memory location is unnamed. Why? No assignment operator, no memory location name. Can you see the difference now? There's a big difference between this and this. Again, see, we are not just learning JavaScript just for the sake of it. We are trying to clear the concepts. We are building the foundation so that we have the rock solid confidence that yes, I'm good with JavaScript and I'm going to add value to whichever company, whichever project I'm going to work with. Yeah. Most people don't do this. They have a surface level knowledge. You don't want surface level knowledge. You want deeper knowledge. Yeah. Your confidence should be rock solid. I know JavaScript in and out. Yeah. That is what I'm doing, guys. Okay. So you want to remember this. You want to make notes for this. Okay. Yeah. Let us move on. Okay. So if I do something like this, this is called as string concatenation. Okay. String concatenation. String concatenation. Okay. Internally, what is JavaScript doing? JavaScript is actually converting the number to a string automatically. You don't see this. At runtime, it is happening. Why? You cannot technically add a string with a number. Not possible only. So at runtime, JavaScript is converting the number to a string. And that is why if you join these two strings, the output would be high 1. Okay. But your program will look like this only. This is happening at the runtime. We look at this. This is called automatic type conversion or coercion. We'll look at this later on. I'm just giving, telling you this so that at least you get little familiar with these concepts. Okay. The next concept is called as string indexing. Very, very important concept. Okay. Or in other words, I can say my strings are indexed. What does it mean? Let me tell you. Super simple. Suppose I have this thing, C, then H, then I. One sec. Yeah, I. What is happening? Yeah. I, C, then K, then E, then N. Okay, so this is my string. Now look at this, guys. C has an index of 0. H has an index of 1. I has 2. This has 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Now, in case if you're probably new in coding, yeah, if you are seeing this for the first time, you might be confused. What the heck? Why it is starting from 0? Why not 1? Because, see, as a human, we start counting things by 1. Suppose I have, let's say, 40 people in this particular meeting. And if I start counting them, how do I start counting? I will not say person 0, person 1, person 2. That is odd. We never do this. As a human, we start counting people by 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? We never start from 0. But this is a programming language. It is not human. Yeah. In machine, a machine, let's write like this. A machine starts counting from 0 and not 1. All right. So machine always starts from 0, not 1. So C is index 0. N is index 6. All right. Okay. Technically, N is 7 actually. Why? There are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the last character is not 7, it is 6. Why? I'm starting from 0. So the last is not 7. 7 minus 1, which is 6. This is important. We'll see the same concept even in arrays also later on. Okay. Yeah. So this is important. Now, let us learn something more. If this is my string, right? Now, I've written a string using double quotes. I can use single quote. I can use backticks. I'm using a dot here. Can you see this small box that is coming? What is this box called as? Anyone? It has a name.
Options.
Okay. Sarah is saying options. Okay. Good try, Sarah.
Not options, functions.
Functions. Okay. Okay. Guys, so firstly, this box is called as your IntelliSense. It has a name. Okay. IntelliSense. Some people even call it as auto suggestion box. Okay. Yeah. So this box is very, very powerful, guys. It tells you what all methods you can use. Okay. And I'll tell you. Can you see? You have something in purple color, something in the blue color. These color codings are very, very useful. Yeah. So whenever you see something in the purple color, what is it? Purple colors are called as methods. We'll talk about what are methods. Don't worry, I'll tell you. When you see something in the blue color, what is it? It is a property. Now let us understand the difference between methods and properties. Yeah. Okay. This is something I learned from my experience. I never read this in any book or something. Okay. Yeah. So it always remained a puzzle, a mystery for me. I'll tell you. What are methods, guys? Firstly, before understanding methods, learn about properties. Okay. Let's talk about me only. Yeah. As a human, I may have certain properties. Properties means characteristics. I may have a certain weight. I have a certain height. I have a certain skin color. I have a certain hair color, some eye color. What are these? These are my properties. These are my characteristics that define me as a human. Yeah, these are called properties. Now, what are methods? As a human, what all things I can do? Yeah, I can walk, I can talk, I can eat, I can do some action. So, whenever I talk about any action, I'm saying these are called methods. Property means characteristics. This is a very simple way of understanding, guys. Characteristics. I wish somebody taught me like this when I was learning JavaScript. Okay. So methods means actions. Property means characteristics. String has only a single property called length. See, there is no other color in blue. We have only single property called length. Rest everything is a method. Yeah. So what is this? Length is a property. So for properties, never use parentheses. Never ever use. So length is a property. What is the use of this property? This tells me what is the length of the string. That's it. Is it difficult to understand? No. Console.log hello.length. What is the output? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll clear the console. See, output is cleared. Yeah, because if I click on the play button, the output stays. And if I click on the play button one more time, I'll see the previous output and the previous output. Okay. And this can cause confusion. See, right? This can cause confusion. So I always do clear it first and then I click on the play. See, it is giving me 5. So hello.length gives me 5 as the output. I hope this is making sense. Okay. Now, if I do this, suppose if I do hello space world. Now tell me the output of this code, guys. At least try. Even if you're wrong, doesn't matter. We're learning, right? Right? Hmm? Hello?
11.
11.
Very nice. Correct. So now you have understood, guys. Even space is also counted. Yeah. The only tricky part about here was just the space. So 5 plus 5 is 10, and including the space, it is 11. Okay, 11. So this gives me 11. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So this is important, guys. Now the next part. Strings. This is something you might have seen even in Java. Strings are immutable. What is the meaning of this? It means they cannot be changed. Yeah, it means they cannot be changed. This is important, guys. Okay, let me give an example. So here, let me create something called as full name, something. So full name equal to, I don't know. I'm running out of names. What should I give a name? Maybe Harry? I don't know. Yeah. Now if I do this. So guys, if I want to access any particular character, say H, how can I do? Very easy. Use the square brackets and use 0. Simply do console.log full name of 0. Select it, clear it, play. It will give you H. So if you want to extract each individual character, you have to use indexing. 0 means give, okay? 0 means give me the 0th index of the string. 0th index. 1 means A. Yeah? Okay. Now, you have understood this. I know that. Suppose if I do this, full name of 0 equal to H. What am I doing? I'm trying to modify capital H to small h. This is assignment. And now if I do this, console.log full name. What do you think is the output? Tell me, guys.
Small
Output.
small h will replace big h.
Okay. So Olufemi is saying it is Harry in H, lowercase. But guys, that is not true. What happens if I click on the play button? Observe, guys, it is still Harry in capital H. So what happened? Let's see.
Change.
This is completely ignored. So JavaScript doesn't throw any error for this line, but this is the concept. This is a rule we just have to follow. Like there are some rules, we never dive deeper into it, but we just follow them. For example, rule of gravity, right? We don't really understand how it works actually, right? The rule of electricity, right? You cannot see electricity, but you know that if you put your finger inside any socket, you will get burnt, right? You never do this. So some things we cannot see, but we follow it. Same thing. This is a rule we have to follow. Strings are immutable. You cannot modify. Even if you try to modify a string, it is going to be completely, fully ignored. Yeah, this is a rule you have to follow. That's it. So if you try to change any index, not the 0th, any index, JavaScript is simply going to silently ignore it. Yeah, you won't get any error, but okay. So the output is still this only.
What if we try to print full name of 0?
Okay, now it will print only the, okay, let me show you. Good question. So full name of 0. This will give me the 0th index, which is capital H. It will give you capital H only, not lowercase h. See? H. So strings are immutable. If you try modifying it, nothing happens. Technically, something happens, we'll see later on. Okay. Now we are going to
Piyush,
learn.
is it value is for dynamic typing also it will work? No.
Pavleen, this has nothing to do with dynamic
Then
typing. Dynamic
okay.
typing is a different concept.
Okay.
Yeah, dynamic typing means storing a new data type value. Suppose if I store a number, this is a dynamic typing. Okay. Yeah. Now we are about to learn another concept called as string methods. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Like if we change full name to Harish, in that case also it will still keep printing Harry only.
Exactly, correct. So, okay, I think you're getting confused. Let me tell you. So, if you're trying to change a particular index like this is going to be ignored. But if you do this, suppose if you do full name equal to Harish, I think Sarah was asking Harish.
Yeah.
Now what happens? Okay, see, you're storing a completely new value. You're not modifying it. You are storing a completely new value. Okay, what are you saying? You are saying take out Harry, throw it, and put a new value, Harish. So what is the full name now? It is no longer Harry now. It is Harish. So this Harry string is still there in the memory, but it is unnamed now. It will be deleted automatically after some time. I'm not modifying Harry. I'm storing a new value, a new string into this memory location. So I'm taking out Harry and putting a new string Harish. So this now becomes unnamed. It will be deleted. You don't have a control on this. Okay. So this particular part is taken by the operating system. It will be automatically deleted. This is called garbage collection. Why? You can no longer use Harry now. Why? It does not have a name. Imagine I don't have a name. How can you talk to me? Currently, how do you talk to me? You say, hi, Piyush. Suppose if I don't have a name, how can you talk to me? No, right? Same thing. You cannot use this value if it does not have a name. It will be deleted automatically because of this. Why? It is no longer needed actually. Okay. So you'll get more clarity about this after going through the string methods. Okay. And guys, this is one thing I really want to tell you. So if you think your learning is going to be a straight curve, no. If I'm explaining you, suppose 10 concepts, you probably will learn 7 concepts, 3 concepts. You'll actually be a little confused. Okay. You will understand them later on. Then you'll realize after some time, after with more practice, you'll realize, oh, this is why Piyush was telling me this. Because learning is not always a straight line. Okay. Yeah. So string methods. So strings come with some built-in methods. These are actions that I can perform. Remember the properties and actions? We have seen a single property. There is nothing else in this. Yeah. Okay. So string has a single property called length. That's it. There's nothing else. But now we have so many methods on strings. Okay. Now we'll study some methods actually. Okay. What are these methods? Okay. Let us understand. For example, guys, let's say I have a MSG variable. And here I'm writing you are so grounded. Now my requirement is I want to capitalize it. I want to capitalize it. So what should I do? MSG dot to uppercase. Now I'm saying capitalizing it. Am I breaking or am I contradicting myself only? We just learned, right? Strings are immutable. Yeah, remember this concept. Strings are immutable. Let me highlight it. You want to remember this, guys. Strings are immutable. Now, I'm saying MSG dot to uppercase. What am I truly doing? Okay, so if I do this, MSG dot to uppercase. Okay, let me just console.log it. What is happening, guys? If I run this code, see, it is creating a brand new string in the memory. What is the concept here? Whenever you apply any string method, a new string gets created. A brand new string gets created. Why? Strings are immutable. You can never modify the existing string. A brand new string gets created. A new memory location gets created. Okay. So this is a very silly thing. You are creating a new memory location, but you're not giving it a name. This is a one-time use memory. One-time use memory, which will be deleted automatically after some time. This is good for practice. In real projects, you will not do this. In real projects, if you truly want to uppercase it, you will do something like this. How to read this? I'm saying I'm converting the string to an uppercase and putting this uppercase string back into this. Means now I'm saying inside this MSG memory location, this string I'm throwing out and I'm putting in a new string because this is a new string. This is the older string. I'm creating a new string and storing inside MSG. This string would be deleted afterwards. That is the concept. Yeah, again, these are the rules. You just simply follow it, right? Okay. Yeah, these are the rules. Now, if you do console.log msg, what happens? Let's see. So if I clear and play, see, now MSG memory location has a new string. The older string is out. It will be deleted. I don't have a control when it will be deleted. but I just should know the concept, guys. Okay, so that is called strings are immutable. Okay, yeah, so we just saw the very first method. Okay, so I think it was a pretty good class today. So you interacted, most of you asked me good questions. I'm really happy that, there's a lot of engagement going on. This is important, this is needed. Guys, I don't want to keep it like, it's just me talking, 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 and you are just listening, listening, listening. It is going to be very boring. Yeah. Okay, so I would request you all, please do a lot of engagement. Keep on asking questions. No question is considered silly. I'm nobody to judge you. I'm there to help you and take you to the next level. So treat me like somebody who's there to guide and assist you. Yeah. Okay. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I'll be sharing all these files with all of you. Okay. So if you truly like this style, okay, and if you feel that, I'm there to help you and support you, you really like my mentorship, you may consider joining. You can drop me a WhatsApp if you have not enrolled already, and I can help you with the team for the next steps. Any questions, I'm there to guide you. And you can freely ask me about the course, the content, anything.
So strings are unmutable, but few methods will work on strings, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. In the next class tomorrow, same time, 7:30 p.m. IST, we'll continue with the strings. We will dive deeper and deeper into strings. And I'll be giving you good assignments. And if you'll do that, you will actually get this confidence that, yes, I'm getting better. Any questions?
Piyush, so are we going to cover any CI/CD tools in the training, or like it'll be totally for JavaScript, TypeScript, and Playwright?
Shubham, without covering any CI/CD tool, no automation training can be fully completed. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will be covering what not just CI/CD, we'll be covering the problem it solves. This is how I like to teach. I don't like to teach
Right.
just the concept. I can tell you this is the concept, that is the concept, but we'll forget it. But if you'll connect with the real world examples, like what is the problem it solves, you will remember it. Okay. So we'll study CI/CD and along with Jenkins
Great.
in detail.
Thank you.
All right. Any other question, guys? Now I know after the class I'll be flooded with WhatsApp messages. People keep on bombarding me with messages. Piyush, I have this question, I have that question.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, Nita, go on.
Yeah, Piyush, the deletion part, when we change the reference of the string so that unnamed is deleted, that is happening in JavaScript. The same happens in Java also, right? The
Mhm.
same way.
Similar thing happens in Java, but again, so Java and JavaScript are quite similar also. They are also, different also. There are few concepts that are similar, there are few concepts that are different. So that is why if people start learning both together, it can be very confusing. Okay. Yeah. So like we have the same concept in Java also.
So the
Strings are
garbage collection is same, right?
garbage collection is same, strings are immutable. That is also same. That is there even in Java.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should ask me questions if something is not clear. Never
Yeah,
consider any question as silly. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Piyush,
and one more thing, I mean, that is just a visual part. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
coding, so in your editor, I can see the comments are in green and the colors, but I have also installed that multicolor theme that you told. But
Mm-hmm.
those color I'm not seeing in my editor.
Oh, no problem.
The
In that case,
comments.
you might have changed something else. No problem. You can connect with me separately, Nita, and I can help you with.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, Olufemi, you were asking some
yeah.
question.
Okay, yeah, Piyush, thank you so much for today's lecture. It is very amazing because there's something I watched on YouTube or Udemy that they
Okay.
just brush over and they didn't really explain deep, but you break everything down, like all these methods and property. In fact, now I get to understand them. Thank you so much. Then the question I want to ask is
Mm-hmm.
the way we are doing the programming. So that means if we continue at this pace, so that means even it might be very more easier for the tester like us to switch to developer if you want to be a developer, because
Absolutely.
yeah, because I don't see any difference between us again, to be honest, because we are
Mm.
doing the coding and they are doing the coding. So,
Yeah.
or is there any point or any limit that we can go or we don't want to go so that we don't just be developer or just it's an open-ended? I mean, I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. I'm getting a question actually. So, okay. So if your target is you want to be a developer, you can. You can. Okay. But my goal in this particular course is not to make you a developer. So we'll be learning JavaScript from automation testing point of view. Because if we talk about development, there are so many other concepts also that we'll have to study in detail. Okay. But we are not covering those concepts because my goal is to not to make you a developer. But if you want to be a developer, in case the answer is yes, you can. And if that is what you're calling is like again, this is what I was explaining Pavleen also. Whatever you are interested in, you should pursue that path because you will be actually more happier and you'll actually do better. And if you need help, especially, I can definitely guide you on that. So all of you have different aspirations, guys, and I understand that. And I'm not here to judge you. Whatever is your aspiration, I'm there to guide you. You can connect separately with me for a particular roadmap. If at all you need some direct roadmap, yes. Again, this is not a course. Again, I was saying, right? This is more of a mentorship program. Yes, Ashish, you can ask me.
Yes, hi, Piyush. So actually, we will get the assignment on the daily actually basis so that actually we can continue doing the daily actually practice on that.
Absolutely, Ashish. So I can do that. So what is happening is I'll be sharing all these assignments in the same drive link. So I've created that drive link already. So I'll be sharing with the enrolled people. So we are about to create a new WhatsApp group. So basically, people who have enrolled will be adding those people in that WhatsApp group, and I'll be sharing this drive link, the notes, entire assignments, plus some bonus material that I have carefully crafted. This is going to be amazing, guys. Okay, so I'll
Okay,
be
like actually
Learning
interview
project.
and
correct,
actually interview
exactly.
like questions
Yeah,
on
I'll
that
be
on the
exactly.
topics.
I'll be sharing a lot of interview tips also. Very, very important.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. No problem. Yes, Abhishek, you have a question. Go on.
Any
Hi,
small
Piyush.
project also, Piyush?
Come
Any
again.
small projects also we'll be doing.
Oh, yes, absolutely correct. Without the projects, you cannot have a true learning.
Okay.
Yes, Ajay. Yes, Abhishek, you also had a question?
Yeah, yeah. Piyush, I just wanted to know, roughly how many classes will be there on JavaScript and TypeScript and then on Playwright? I mean, just a rough idea on that.
No problem. That is a very valid question. So JavaScript will take roughly approximately 1 month or so. Okay, we'll be covering all the concepts in detail, right? Whatever I have planned. And then after covering JavaScript, we'll start with the TypeScript and then Playwright. So Playwright will take roughly 1 month or probably few days, something. Yeah. So this course is a very in-depth course. We usually say it is 40 plus hours, but I doubt it is actually 40. It is always more than 40 because I never like to cut short things. I always like to add more value because this is what I believe in, guys. Okay. Again, same thing I tell everyone. If people are paying you X, give them X plus value. Always. You will get 10 times more return. That is why I'm
So
getting
Piyush,
into it.
1 month, yeah.
Hmm.
So 1 month for JavaScript only, and then another like few days or weeks for TypeScript. This is what
No,
you're
no.
saying.
TypeScript should not take too long. TypeScript is hardly 2 or 3 lectures max. Why? TypeScript is something, it is just syntax. Coding is JavaScript. Okay. So
Oh, okay,
JavaScript,
okay.
yeah, because TypeScript is just syntactical difference, very small differences. Okay. Right. JavaScript is
Mhm.
something which is taking a lot of time because we are learning coding for the first time. We are covering all the concepts in detail. That is why we are taking a lot of time for JavaScript. And then TypeScript should be super smooth. Why? You already have the basics in place. Now we'll just study the new syntax of TypeScript. So in TypeScript, it is just a syntax difference. Coding, everything is same.
Yeah,
I hope
got
that
it.
answers the
Thank you.
question. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Any other question, guys?
So Piyush, I have done that dynamic typing of that full name which is there, right? I was just
Hmm.
running some 3 lines code. So
Right.
is it like they are printing everything in that? I mean, it is not throwing any value. I mean, it's overriding the other one. It's treating every variable as a new variable.
Yeah. Okay. So, Paveen, can you just share a code with me? What exactly you are doing? I can help you with it.
No, it's just very basic. I just had,
No problem.
yeah.
Even if it's a very simple code, no problem. I really don't know at the moment what exactly you are doing. So if you can share your code with me, you can just copy and paste in the chat. I can help you what exactly you are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I've started getting WhatsApp from people. So okay, I know most of you wants to get enrolled. You can just drop me a WhatsApp and I can help you with it. Okay, so Pavleen has shared this code. Let full name equal. Okay, let me just share my screen, guys, so that we can see what is the query Pavleen has. Okay, I think you can see my screen now. So this is the code shared by Pavleen. Let's see. So what is happening here? Okay, let me, for readability, I'm doing this. So what is happening? I'm storing this string into full name. I'm printing it. So Pavleen, the answer is Harry at this point. Now, what are you doing? You are actually using the feature of dynamic typing, which is something we should ideally not do. Ideally, you want to create a separate variable for this. This is not a good practice, but yes, JavaScript is forgiving, so it will let you do it. Now, if you run this code at this point, the value is no longer Harry, it is now 12 at this point.
Okay.
And now we are again changing the value back to string. So previously it was string, you stored a number, you are getting number. Now you are again storing a string, again you're printing it. So the final output would be Harish. So first output is Harry, then 12, then Harish. Let's see. See, Harry, 12, Harish. I think that is what your output
Okay.
is. Are you getting what is happening?
Okay. Yeah. As per the execution flow, the full name is getting overridden, right? I mean
Exactly.
that memory is getting overridden. Okay. Yeah.
All you have to understand is JavaScript always execute from top to bottom. That's it.
Okay.
Right? So good question. Anyone else has a question? So you want to drop me WhatsApp, guys. You can stay in touch. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm very, very super active on LinkedIn and I can share you a lot of tips how to build your brand. Nobody talks about this, but I think I know something. If I already have 30,000 followers, I think I know something. So I'm ready to help, guys. I'm ready to help. This is a critical time for you to develop your own brand. Guys, don't just dependent on your company alone. You are making a big mistake if you're just relying on your company. So this is my LinkedIn profile, guys. If you want, you can stay in touch with me. Yeah. And if you actually look at this, I got so good recommendations from my past students. Amazed, right? So I'm getting such a good, amazing recommendations from all my past students. So yeah, okay, this is my profile and I can share you, okay, how to build your own brand. Okay, so every single day I'm getting some more followers. This is something I can teach you all if you want. Is this something you have to do? The answer is no, but I think it is always a good idea to have a side income when you don't need it, because when you actually need it, you'll be actually be, relaxed. Oh, thank God I did the work when I don't need it. Because when I got laid off, I knew how difficult it was. In my case, I've seen 5 layoffs. Some of you might never been laid off. Some of you are laid off something. I know it's not easy. Yeah. So start working on something, guys. Dig the well before you're thirsty. And don't waste your money. You don't want to buy things you don't need. Start reading good books. Get good confidence. Energy is everything. People want to talk to you. Why do I have so many followers? I keep on adding value. I know if I keep on adding value, people want to join me. Why? Because I don't think about how can I get from how much money I can make from them. No. Start giving value, people want to connect with you. Be so good, people want to join. Anything else?
Hi.
Hello.
So I just tried this code which I've pinged in the chat. I just have a doubt. Like when I try to run it, it is showing me an error. I understand that string is immutable, but when you try to run, you do not get any error in the terminal, right? It just skips the name dot character of 0. It did not replace it with E. But rather, it still kept it as S itself. But you were able to see the output. But in my case, like in the terminal, I'm getting an error.
Okay, you're getting an error in the terminal. Okay, what is the error you're getting?
Invalid left hand side in assignment.
Exactly. I too am getting the same error. Okay. So what exactly you are doing? Because you are doing something like this. Okay. In your code, you have written name dot caret of 0 equal to E, second line, right? So JavaScript is giving an error because you are making a mistake. And I'll tell you what is the mistake. First line is let name equal to Saras. Okay, you have written Saras Karthik Vathi. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. So because the string is inside double quotes and the apostrophe inside the double quote is allowed. Yeah, so the value is Saras, then a single quote, then Karthik Vathi. Right? Now this line name dot caret 0. What is the meaning of this? You are saying, give me the character at index 0, right? Means it should print S. Are you getting? It should
Yeah.
print S. But now what are you doing? You are doing name.char@0 equal to E. Why? Char@0 is a method call. It returns something. I think you don't understand the methods yet. So tomorrow we'll dive deeper into methods. You will get the answer to your question.
Okay, so assigning is not possible. Only variable will be able to assign.
Okay, so what you are doing is a mistake. So I would suggest just hold on for some time. Tomorrow we'll study methods in more detail. You will get a clarity what you what you should avoid and how you should really use the methods. Right?
Okay.
Yes. I think you are the one who just dropped me a WhatsApp.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. I'll answer you after some time. Okay. But thank you so much, Mans. Okay. So I think we are good, guys. So okay. So we have answered most of the questions. I would suggest let's join tomorrow. Okay. So right. So let us learn together. Right. And very important thing, guys. We'll keep on learning good stuff. I'll give you a roadmap as well. After this, what you should do. Okay. Again, from next time onwards, you should not be confused anymore. Why? Because I'll be sharing all these things with you. Okay. So because I struggled, nobody helped me. So this is where I'll share with you from my experience. Okay. Which will definitely help you all. Okay. So thank you so much all for joining in. Right. It was great talking to you all. I really am happy when you ask me such amazing questions. No question is considered silly. I'll never ever judge you. I'll always try to help you. Okay. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow again, I'll start the meeting somewhere around 7:25 something. Why I like to start little early. If you can join little early, we can do a little chit chat. You can get to know more about me. We can do, whatever. And 7:30 will start. Okay. So it'll be a 2-hour class and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you still have some questions that are still unanswered, you can drop me a WhatsApp and I've shared my number already. This is my number in the chat. You can drop me a WhatsApp. Yeah. That's it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So wish you all a wonderful day ahead. Yeah. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Piyush.
Goodbye. Good night.